Crazy God story. Years ago, I was doing some work for a guy named Ben, and out of the blue, I just asked him, "Hey man, do you know Jesus?" And Ben was like, "No." So I asked if I could talk to him about Jesus, and he's like, "Sure, whatever, I don't care." And so I shared the gospel with him, and then I shared my testimony about how I had been a slave to sin, and I tried to quit, but was completely unable to, and it almost cost me my marriage. But when I gave my life to Jesus, God radically transformed me, freed me from my sin, and it saved my marriage. Ben was blown away because he had been an alcoholic for years and desperately wanted to be free from it, but he couldn't quit no matter how hard he tried. Now, he didn't give his life to Jesus that day, and I didn't see him again for a long time. The next time we talked was like 5 years later. And when we did, he said, "Chris, a few years ago, I almost lost my marriage because of my drinking. And then I remembered about your story and how God freed you from sin and saved your marriage. And so I found a church and started going. I heard the gospel and was radically transformed. God freed me from my alcoholism. And my wife, who wasn't a Christian, was so excited about what had happened that she started going to that church just to support me. Then she heard the gospel and gave her life to Jesus and was radically changed too." In Acts 1:8, Jesus said that when we receive the Holy Spirit, we'll receive power to be his witnesses to the entire world. Reaching the lost with the gospel is not dependent on us. It's dependent on the Holy Spirit who lives inside of us. When we step out in faith to try and talk to people about Jesus, the Holy Spirit speaks through us to them. When I talked to Ben the first time, he told Ben through me exactly what Ben needed to hear.